Hello, Honors Algebra 2 Trig students. We're going to learn in this video how to do some basic things with Desmos. As you already know, with Desmos, you can graph a large variety of functions. You could graph functions from lines to quadratics, in many different forms. You're not just restricted to one type. You could do many types. Let's go -2, x minus 3, x plus 4. We could get that quadratic right there. And we could even go do things like put our types of conics up there, x minus 2 squared over 4. Let's go plus y minus 5 squared divided by 9 equals 1. And so we've just created these three quadratics, and we've created this ellipse. And we're going to talk about a number of things that you can do with Desmos. I'm going to get rid of everything here but the ellipse at this moment. Now, you can do restrictions for both shapes in all kinds of different functions with the domain and range. All you have to do is you have to put a bracket. And so say I want this ellipse, but I want to cut it off where x is 3. I just make it x is less than or equal to 3, and it gives us a ellipse, but only when the x is less than or equal to 3. I could likewise do the same thing, but instead of saying x has to be less than or equal to 3, I'm only going to do this part where y is less than or equal to 3. I also have the capacity of going ahead and instead saying, maybe I want to restrict this, but I want to restrict this instead where it's y equals 2x. So instead, maybe I want to have one direction of the cut of this ellipse. And so what I can do is I can make it an inequality where y has to be greater than or equal to 2x. And so now I only get the portion where it's higher than the y equals 2x function. And even after I get rid of this line or delete it, it's still the exact same way. We were just showing the cutoff of where that was before. Now, things that you can also do using Desmos is you can do shading. So we had this ellipse from before where it is equal to 1 is showing the exterior of the ellipse, that perimeter, the portion going around. But we could go turn this into an inequality to represent all the portions on the inside. So now if it's less than or equal to 1, we're going to shade the parts on the inside. And this shading, if we click and hold on it, we can go ahead and change the color to whatever one that we think looks nice. And in another video, you'll be able to find out how to make custom colors as well. And so we can also cut this here. But if we wanted to make sure that we were only in the portions that were bigger than that y equals 2x from before, we could go y. Actually, I'm not sure if this is going to work. Greater than or equal to 2x. That still works. So we can go ahead and still create that type of restriction if we want to make that type of space for the shading. Now, right now you see how you can kind of see through this, and you might be able to do something like another function under it. I'm going to go ahead and do like a little wave. I'm going to make 2 less than or equal to y is less than or equal to the sine of 2x. Nope. For sine of 2x plus 3. So now we have these waves that go right here. I could say I might only want those for a little bit of area. I could say I want this from x's between -2 and 4, so I only get it for a short period of time. I might not like that when I have this here, I kind of see them both. Well, part of the problem is that they're both have a certain amount of transparency. And if we want to make them opaque so we just can't see through one another, we're going to hold this down and we're going to go into this fill area. If you make it really light, you can barely see the fill. And like 0.1, it's a really light tint of green. 0.5, it's a little darker. If I go all the way up to 1, it becomes completely opaque and you can't see the shape behind it. When you do something like this, you do it for both, you'll notice that you can see the green one, but not the portion of the purple, like it's covering up the purple. The way Desmos does it is they graph them in order. So the one that you do first will be in the back. The one you do last will be in the front. And if I want to change the way that this looks, I just change the order, and then that would determine which one's in the front and which one's in the back. So as you're going and you're playing with your picture and making your image, these are techniques that you can use to help support making something really cool.